All right. Hi out there. Hi everyone watching live, watching recorded. We are quite a number of us today from the Mora medical team. We've got 4 of us here today. My name's Dr. Rock, and we are here every Wednesday, 11 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So if you're watching us for the first time, you can mark your calendar, or if you're watching us recorded, thank you. I'm going to introduce everyone who's here today. First, we have Christina Lascano. Christina, you want to say hi? Tell everyone who you are.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Christina. I'm one of our PAs here at Mora, and I've been on a couple other ones if you've seen them before, but excited for today's topic.
And then I'm going to go down to the end. We have Dr. Jen Worthington. Hi, Dr. Jen. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. Glad to be back. It was fun last time. I think I was on last time talking about favorite desserts.
Plant-based desserts. That was your hook to coming back to these, because that one you were like, I'm definitely there, and then you were like, this is fun. And then, of course, needs no introduction, Dr. Lori. Dr. Lori, welcome back, our Chief Medical Officer.
Hello, thank you for having me. If I look down, I'm just sharing. So please share this link to your Facebook and YouTube, or whoever you think would be benefit from this. So thank you.
That's right. This is our weekly live stream. It is a Q&A. We are all lifestyle medicine certified plant-based clinicians. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Today, well, first, Dr. Lori, you want to tell folks who are new a little bit about our practice, about Mora Medical?
Yes, we are Mora Medical. We are a lifestyle medicine focused on whole food plant-based eating, but we really, encompass the lifestyle medicine pillars, which are, of course, restorative sleep, stress reduction, movement of the body, community, all those wonderful things. And we really want to clarify with people that we take insurance. So we are seeing around 80 to 85% coverage in the states that we're currently active in, which is Florida, Texas, California, New York, Ohio, Colorado would be the big ones. And that should be about a third of this country's population, the United States. So please, if you really want to reach out and have a plant-based doctor, we are here for you. We do one-on-ones and group visits. And like I said, we take that insurance. If you don't have insurance or prefer to do cash, we can do that as well at a very affordable price. So so again, it's very exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah. It's I would say, very mission-driven group and organization, because we have this vision to really provide this type of care, therapeutic lifestyle change, to everyone, anyone who needs access to it. Right now, it's not that way. So, but it soon will be because of us. So today, I thought we'd talk about, all of us eat a plant-based diet, and I'm assuming all of us didn't eat a plant-based diet in the past. There was a transition. And in that transition, there's certain things you come to know, like people talk about, like, oh, you're going to have to learn how to cook with different ingredients. And I think there were a lot of things that I read about and people told me about, but there were some things that were surprising. There were some things that I experienced, both positive and just surprising. And that's the kind of prompt. So I'm curious to hear from all of you if you experienced anything like that. And anyone feel so courageous to share first?
I'll go. I'm not afraid. I'm pretty much sure everyone's heard my stories so many times. I'm transparent about everything. So we're going to go straight to the bathroom. And we're just going to get TMI right at the beginning.
This is something people don't talk about.
We don't talk enough about
When I'm meeting with patients, I don't discuss. Okay. I like where this is going.
So yes, if it's TMI, I apologize, but bowel movements are a very important part of they should be daily lives. And I guess part of my biggest surprise when I was as practicing physician is how many patients go, I am pooping now daily. used to only go every 2 or 3 days or every 4 or 5 days. It's like, you didn't poop for 4 or 5 days. That's one that's not healthy for your gut, but it speaks volumes of lack of fiber in this world. We're fiber deficient. But I have a really cute story, and it's about it's about a 7-year-old little girl and her little brother. He was 4, I believe, at the time, and poop and a cup, and their mom. And so they're fully aware that I share this story regularly. But anyway, I first started seeing this family because the little boy was a type 1 diabetic, and they got plant-based, and he's doing great. He's 8 now. But the sister had some problems with constipation. And so as they were transitioning to this plant-based diet, there was a lot of stomach things that we were working through. And what was really funny is I mentioned, the chart that has the different healthy poops. Is it the Bristol? That's what it's Bristol food chart. So there's a cup, there's a big old coffee mug that the mom bought, and she had the coffee mug, and then she bought a chart and put it in the bathroom. So every time they would go to the bathroom, the little kids would come running out and go, "Mom, I had a 4, I had a 5, I had a 3." So our visit every single time as the family was joining was telling us about the chart and the coffee. But then she brought out the coffee mug. I actually got the coffee mug myself because I thought it was just really funny. And then one of my kids stole it, and now it's in one of their houses. Anyway, that is, children understand the value of, what they're eating and bowel habits early. And so many kids walk around with constipation, right? So I really feel that a majority of kids with constipation, if we switch them to mostly plant-based, they would not have it.
My daughter, from very young age, about a year old after she stopped breastfeeding, she's developed really severe constipation, so severe. And, it'd be a few days and I'd be putting laxatives up and she'd be screaming. And doctors said, just put her on Miralax. And that worked. And, I was thinking to myself, though, how am I giving this young baby, and I was mixing Miralax in the milk. And so then I did a deep dive. This is before I was eating plant-based by any means, and I did this sort of online searching and reading, and eventually found that, a lot of children react to dairy this way. And I said to my wife, we're going to cut out dairy. And so we switched to, soy and soy milk and soy-based formula. And and I put her on some fiber. I put some like Metamucil or something in right. And those two things. And then I weaned off the Miralax, and then I weaned off the fiber. And it was sort of like, dairy. And even now she's 11. And if she'll still eat dairy. She eats dairy sometimes. She'll have pizza, but she'll feel it. And so many people aren't aware, you're right, of how dairy or animal products or whatever in their diet might be affecting their bowel habits. I know this is lunchtime. Last thing I'll say about that is my own experience with that. I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but I was that guy, like sometimes 2-3 days, and now it's like 2-3 times a day, right? And no one told me that. No one said it's a bad, but you have to sort of know that, because like I can't schedule a run with a friend like first thing in the morning. Yeah, it has to be like an hour or 2 into.
So but now this whole audience can say that you told them.
Or there has to be a bathroom, like I know, on the trail or something. Anyway, any other? So Christina, I'll move on. Anything that surprised you about?
Well, I will. I mean, I know we've been talking about it, but I also had a very similar experience to Rock. I used to have a lot of trouble with constipation personally, and one of the reasons why I actually went plant-based, because I was trying to correct some of my bowel symptoms and issues that I was having. And now I don't have those issues, and it's fantastic, and I feel so much better, and it's amazing. So that's all I'll say to that. But just if you're struggling with that, definitely reach out to us, because we can help, and we can, we really can. This is something that people talk about, and you shouldn't ever be ashamed to ask your doctor about this and your bowel movements. And it's very normal for us to talk about these things. It's part of our health. So yeah, if this is something that you're struggling with, definitely reach out to us.
Immediate weight loss. Just saying.
Yeah. Weight loss too.
Clear out.
Yeah, because then you're actually evacuating that food that you're eating, more frequently, which is good. And then on another subject, something that was surprising for me, when I went plant-based, I think growing up in this diet culture of just constantly, hearing about these different diets, or as a woman, this is how much you should eat, or eating less, or portions and things like that. When I went plant-based, I realized you can eat a lot more quantity of food. Your plate typically is a little bit more full, which I really liked. And I still really like. I can eat like a large plate, and it takes me a little while to eat it because there's so many veggies. And then you feel full for a long time after that. And you didn't feel like you just had to like eat this tiny little piece of something, and then, your stomach's not full. You're not getting that satiated feeling of fullness. So that was the biggest thing for me. Probably that's the biggest surprise. And it's a good one. If anyone else had that experience.
I hear, and I also it resonates with me, is how you were surprised at how satisfying like eating this way can be. Both, I would say both, because of the volume. It is a lot of volume of food if you're eating whole unprocessed plant food, because the calorie density is so low, and the deliciousness, the taste, the enjoyment, like that has been way more than I was expecting. I think because you echoed it, you're like diet culture. I didn't go into it that way thinking this is going to be a punishment, but I also didn't go into it thinking necessarily like, oh, this is going to be so much better. I'm going to enjoy food so much more than I used to. I was thinking actually, okay, I'm going to have to give up the things I like. And I don't know, maybe that is a punishment.
Well, I think, like you said, I think I never realized how incredible vegetables could taste either. So that was another big surprising thing for me. Grew up mostly on green beans and, more of a limited number of different vegetables. We still ate very healthy growing up, but there wasn't a large variety. And so now that I'm eating a big variety of vegetables, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how delicious this was, or how delicious this could be if you cooked it this way. And so, and then adding different herbs and spices that I've never tried. And like you said, food can be so flavorful and delicious. And I think going plant-based and eating more plant-based allows you to have even more creativity with adding flavors to your foods. That's what my personal experience has been. Yeah.
Dr. Jen, what about you? Something what surprised you? How long have you been plant-based?
It's been probably almost 3 years now.
Okay.
And I feel similarly to what Christina was just saying, and what you were saying is I was really surprised by how not boring it was. I made the decision for health reasons. Understanding the science just blew me away, and I gave up things one after another. Just understanding that I don't want this in my body. I want to feed myself what is going to give me nutrients and just treat my body the way it should be treated. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, this is going to be very limiting, and it might get boring, but it'll be okay because I like all of these foods. But as I explored more and more and looked at recipes and cookbooks and different websites and people sharing this world of plant-based cooking, I was blown away by how not boring it is and how many choices there are out there. And it's been so fun to not only try new things, but also to go back to some of the old recipes, old dishes, and make them in a new way and have them be just as satisfying, so to serve my family something that they've loved in a meat-based format, and here's the new improved version, and they love it. And that's been so satisfying. And I will add one other thing too. this surprised me because, like I said, I came into this for health reasons. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't in poor health, but I understood the health implications of eating plant-based. I was not prepared to lose weight. I wasn't looking to lose weight. And I found that within 2 months, 10 pounds just went off. I thought I was at a normal, healthy weight, and I'd been the same weight for many, many years. And suddenly 10 pounds gone. So that surprised me as well.
Oh, that surprised me as well. I also went into this for health reasons, and I would say I had sort of given up on losing weight at that point. Not that I didn't think it was something I wanted to do or was important to me. I just said that's not necessarily my priority right now. I just want to focus on my health, especially after I got my labs and stuff. And the weight loss just follows. And there's something else you said, which is, and I think a lot of patients struggle, or not struggle with this, but they have this mindset like we did, like, oh, there's a lot I'm going to be giving up. I'm going to have less variety. I don't know, Dr. Laura, you've taken care of so many patients over the years with this transition. How do you prepare them? Like, do you try to demystify some of these surprises, or?
I think the first things that we tend to focus on is how rapidly medications will need to be de-escalated. Mm-hmm. For example, insulin or certain oral diabetic medications and hypertension medications. The weight loss can be very rapid. And so with any rapid weight loss of significant portion, the other piece to that is watching for gallstones formation. So there is that as well. I've seen that happen with a few different patients. Not a significant number, but a number that, it's something to be mindful of. And again, that can happen with any rapid weight loss, be it bariatric surgery or whatever, fasting, it doesn't matter. And then, if constipation had been brought up, of course, we discussed those things. But also the gas, as your microbiome is changing, a lot of patients will come back, I'm bloating, have a lot of gas, what is going on? I was like, well, it's telling me that your poor gut wasn't used to fiber. And we pull back and we just, transition more slowly, like on the beans and some other things, do more cooked vegetables instead of raw. And so it's a really interesting conversation ongoing, but yeah, they tend to be that. And then honestly, if we really focus in on whole foods and keep them, and really need to clarify for them that they need to stay away from the processed plant foods because of cost, and the cost will drop. So that was another nice surprise, is how cheap this is compared to eating, standard American diet in processed foods, and just how good they're going to feel. Joint pain resolving, headaches, more clarity, better mood, sleeping better, more energy, faster recovery from exercise. But the initial things I really focus in on are those medications and any potential things that we will need to act on really quickly, so that they're aware. And then the slow transition for the gut health, because a lot of people struggle with that.
A lot of people struggle with that. Yeah. I think a lot of people are surprised by, I hear this a lot, is their hair and their skin and their nails get better. And I don't recall thinking that myself exactly, but I've heard that now enough times from patients. They're like pleasantly surprised, right? That's not something you sort of go in to plant-based eating thinking like, I'm doing this for my hair, but it's a nice added benefit, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting though. So yes, you'll see like nail growth, hair growth is faster, different things like that. Your skin is a different color. You're more vibrant. People will say like, wow, you look younger. Sometimes, and people will actually see hair loss for a few months. And anytime there's some like stress to the body, like this rapid change, maybe they're eating less calories because they haven't quite, figured out they need to eat more, beans and whole grains, not just fruits and veggies. There's a few different reasons for that, but that will stop and, hair growth returns. But I've seen that on a few occasions. So, but it is, the nails grow really fast. It's really quite It's not annoying, but it's annoying at the
It's
same time.
I know.
My toenails
Yeah,
are
I used to have
growing.
really brittle nails, and mine they get so long now, and yeah,
Mhm.
it's really
You
it is
mentioned
nice.
you
Kind of a
mentioned
nice thing I
energy
hadn't
levels
really thought about.
too. Oh, sorry, Christina. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's just yeah, a surprising thing that I hadn't thought of either. But yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead. Energy
no,
levels.
I was saying you mentioned energy levels, and I wonder if anyone else experienced that. Like you kind of hear that, but then to experience it is a different thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I personally have had, because I'll be 53 in October, and for me, I really do feel pretty young. I don't remember not feeling this way since, many decades ago. So I'm still trying to wait for that. Something's going to happen. But as long as I get good sleep from my dog not jumping on us or whatever, I'm ready to go. So yeah, it's good stuff.
That's right. I just want to thank everyone again for being here, our weekly live stream. We are Mora Medical. You can find us at mora.com, Mora.com. We're a lifestyle medicine clinical practice. We do group visits. We call circles, where you connect with other people who are also trying to improve their health, lose weight. And we help you make changes, sustainable changes to your lifestyle. These are not changes you're going to just make over the next few weeks or few months to get a result. These are changes that you're going to learn to make, that you're going to want to do. That's one of the surprises, I think, was that I'm at a place now where I really love like doing these things, like eating this way. Like I always thought I was going to have to like kind of strong arm myself. Like you have to do this now. And I think it was the approach actually that helped, because you can hear my dog, hopefully not. It was the approach was like, I went into it saying, I don't want this to be a punishment every day. I don't know if anyone else had that experience. To me,
You guys have the dog is funny. Yeah, tell me about what you guys experiences, as far as
No, I totally agree with that. Even now, a couple of years later, I still have, friends and even family members who think that I'm sacrificing and that I'm missing out, and that it's, we just, case in point, we just had Easter with extended family, and it almost seemed like some family members were acting like they felt sorry for me. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't even want that, what you're eating. I'm so happy with what I'm eating. And that, that was a surprising transformation, really. It just is not the kind of sacrifice that I thought it would be.
Do you even remember what it's like to eat meat and dairy? I'm like, honestly, I have struggled to remember.
My husband commented, because he does remember even more so, right? So I'm half Italian, and he remembers coming in and meeting my family, the Italian side of the family, where Thanksgiving is literally an Italian feast with, right, like lasagna and meatballs and sausage and the whole 9 yards. And then they clear that away, and then they bring out the turkey with all the trimmings and so forth. And so the first time he joined us for Thanksgiving, he didn't know turkey was coming after the Italian meal.
Wow.
And then he didn't want to, of course, offend my grandmother, so he ate everything, right? So he was remembering what holidays were like, where you push away from the table and you just feel so sick and bloated and you have to go take a nap. And we walked away from Easter dinner and he said, yep, don't miss that one bit.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. And I think
thing with eating plant-based, you don't feel that bloated sensation after you've had even if you've had a full plate of veggies and things, you don't feel that sensation.
I love that. Do you guys also, have you experienced, I know one thing that surprised me was just how being with other people who didn't eat this way, because you're just kind of segueing into what you were saying, Jen, was people looking at what you order and then almost taking offense by what you ordered. And they're like, they look at you and go, so what you eat in there? And you'll explain, you know, I'm plant-based diet. And they go, so what you're saying is what I'm eating is not healthy? Because I've made that judgment for myself. Suddenly now I'm judging everyone else without saying a word. I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but that is a recurring theme.
Yeah.
I think when people this is generally true, when people are making comments or something, it's because they're feeling that. Maybe they're feeling insecure, or they're feeling attacked. Which I just want to say, I mean, this is obvious. I think you probably know, but none of us, we meet people all the time, all walks of life, who eat all sorts of ways. We have all come from different, you know, upbringings with different diets. Like, I have no judgment at all what you're eating. Like, it's a different conversation if somebody is coming to me and says they want to make changes, then we talk about it. But if that's what you're doing now, like, I get it. Life is complicated, and not everyone's at a place where they're aware or want to like think about the food they eat in that way. And that's, you know, that's their decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it just reflects basically on they want to make changes, understand they should make changes, and they're just kind of that it's their own personal issues that they're dealing with. It has no reflection on you. So if any one of you experience that, you know, don't take offense. Just say, no, I'm just enjoying my salad. But if you'd like to talk about your food, I'm happy to do so, or refer you to, you know, Mora Medical, and they can answer your questions for you. But yeah, and as a physician, then I just go into physician mode. So it's really easy for me to like, well, if you brought it up, let's talk about your food and why, you know, I see patients who switch. And that's how I do it. It's an educational, or you can just say, my crazy doctor asked me to eat this way and it's working for me, but you know, if you have more questions, feel free to read this book, or, you know, you can always deflect to the internet.
Dr. Jen, you brought up Easter. And I have to say, yesterday on my circle, like so many people this week, so many people have been bringing up Easter. And depending on where they are in their transition, like in one of our groups, we have people who have been eating this way for several years, or it's not new. And most of them talked about what you said, like they went to something for Easter and they were like, oh, I didn't want that. And it was actually, it's like empowering to realize that you're not just using willpower anymore, that you actually like your tastes have changed and you're like disillusioned from the thing that you used to want and you thought you wanted. So that's a really cool, but there were other people who are newer to this transition who definitely, for a variety of reasons, they said like, it just looked too good. I wanted to have some dessert, and that's okay too. You know, like I always tell them, like, you do that, just learn from it. Like, how did you feel when you did that? Both good and bad.
Oh yeah. I would echo that. I mean, when I went plant-based, I mean, there's times when you will eat something off the plant-based diet and thinking that you want that thing, and then you have it and it doesn't even taste as good as you remember it. Like, I don't know if other people have had that experience. So then it makes, you know, in the future, you just say, well, I didn't really want that. I didn't, it didn't do what I thought it was going to do for me. And actually really enjoyed the salad I had earlier even more than this thing that I was thinking was going to be even better that I was missing out on. And so that was definitely something I experienced as well. And it gets easier with time too.
And that's a great lesson, Christina, for those who have children who are transitioning. So when we transitioned 11 years ago, I had three teenagers, and we just had the rule at home, we eat plant-based, but you guys go out, you do what you want. And over time, you'll see that they actually transition too, because one, they don't feel good. The food doesn't taste the same. They have different feelings or beliefs. Like, you know, I've mentioned before, I have 3 different kids that are plant-based. One's for environmental reasons. She's like, I can't do this if I'm concerned about my future and the health, earth of the health. The other one, Jonathan, who works for Mora, is like, it's just good for you. So I would do it. And then my next one is an ethical vegan, right? But we all started from the premise of we're just eating this way at home. So, but yeah, you're exactly right. It's really interesting how people transition over time.
All right. Well, we're at 11:30, just about 11:30 Pacific, 2:30. I want to thank everyone for this conversation. Hopefully you didn't I just remind everyone we're Mora Medical, MORA.com. And as Dr. Lori said at the start of this half hour, you know, we accept insurance. So I think a lot of times people, they want this type of care. They may think, oh, yeah, that maybe that's available online, but they wouldn't accept my insurance. And that's not the case. That's how one of the ways we're very different. So
yeah, and
so
we're more and more insurances, Rock, to your point. You know, we're, like I said, we're about 85% of covered lives in the states that we're active in. And we have the one-on-one offerings coming very soon, which you'll be able to just book an appointment with Plant-Based Doc immediately. And but we also have those groups. So if you're looking for that community aspect, so lots of good stuff coming our way. And if you come see us and you join up, we will give you a free Fitbit. There's that. So we want to help you stay healthy
and a printed Mora cookbook.
And correct? A cookbook, yes. So if you want Inspired 3 Fitbit cookbook and an amazing doctor and team to support you, well, you look no further than Mora Medical.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks everyone who watched live. Thanks everyone who's watching recorded. And we will be back here next week.